Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another rousing episode of Something with Eric Newman. I'm Eric Newman, your host. And when I initially decided to do this podcast, my whole concept was I'm going to do this alone, and occasionally I'll bring on a guest. We have now hit the 6th episode of this podcast, which I'm very excited about. I decided it would be a good time to sort of have a recap of the first 5 episodes. Now, as you've noticed, I've been solo, haven't had a guest yet, and I'm touching on a lot of topics that are very, from a male perspective, a very intelligent male, but a male perspective, and I decided we should have the female perspective weigh in on this, and who better to join us as the first guest than the female who has had to sit through 5 episodes, soon to be 6 episodes, of raw, passionate misogyny, than Allie Edwards, our wonderful studio producer.
Hi, everyone.
Allie decided to wear makeup for this,
Yeah,
which is
I
big
did.
for her. She has a very natural glow, but she decided to put in...
It's the pregnancy.
It's the pregnancy.
No, I'm not pregnant. Yet.
It's mine. And
Eric is.
so we're here to announce that we are very happy parents, and
Yes.
and we are
To
going
a podcast baby.
podcast baby. We're going to be raising our child on podcast camera. And I don't know what the fuck that meant. Okay, anyway. All right, Allie, let's talk about the formation of how this all happened for a moment.
Okay, cool. Before I go into that, have you heard before that women don't like to be referred to as females?
Yeah, but I don't really listen to females.
Okay. Great. That's what we're going to dive into today.
Wait, hold on. Why? It's the biological term for what you are.
We're not just like our sex parts.
I hate it. I fucking hate it. Oh my God. All
This
right,
is going to be super, super fun.
I hate it. What do you mean? We're males and females. That's what
We're
we
not
are.
just males and females. We're people, and we don't need to be defined by our gender. Also, when you call a woman a female, it's sort of just breaking me down to my most basic anatomy, which is
I wasn't like here's our guest, tits and ass today. I was like,
I don't know
what
what
female. Are you not identify as female?
I do. I identify as a woman.
Okay, I'm sorry. Our woman guest? Our guest who's a woman?
Our guest.
Our guest who happens to be a woman.
Yeah.
Okay. Allie, welcome aboard. This is just to give you a little preview of what we're dealing with for
Yeah.
the next 35
Dealing
plus
with?
minutes. By dealing with, I meant what you're going to have to deal with.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Great.
I'm
This is a good
honored
perspective.
to have your company. You are
The
forced
first
to deal
woman
with
you've
mine.
ever had in your company.
in my this close
The
to
first
me.
female.
First live female. Anyway, so let's talk for a moment here, and I just want to quickly just give everybody an update of how this happened. So I did 5 episodes. I've watched Allie smile, roll her eyes, put her head down, bite her tongue on numerous occasions throughout this 5-episode arc. And I wanted to bring her on because, again, I always want to have a debate. I feel very strongly about the things I feel strongly about, and I feel like Allie has strong opinions as well. But here's the funniest thing that happened. So at the end of last episode, which last episode was social media dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the end of that episode, you were sitting in that chair over there. There's no camera to show the chair, but just believe me that there's a chair over there.
Or flashback to me.
And then I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be fun? I don't know. It might have not been me, so I apologize if I took credit from something that Zoran or John came up with. But
Couldn't have been me.
because you're a female. But Allie said, well, I forgot what happened, but then I said, oh, wouldn't it be fun to have you come on and just kind of point out all my misogyny and the issues you have with me, and then we could have a fun debate about it, right? Because we're mature people. We could have a fun debate. But I just want to share with the viewers right now this text exchange, very private text exchange that occurred yesterday. So we have John Vogel, my producer, Zoran, my DP, and Allie and I are on this. And Zoran sent Allie an email with the transcripts from previous episodes so she could study and come with, her bullet points and have some preparation time. And Allie wrote, and I am quoting, "I do have to say, in reviewing transcripts, comma, Eric walks himself back from misogyny a lot, comma, which is smart and admirable. LOL."
It just means you're not stupid enough
Hold on,
to
hold
fully
on.
go there.
Like you'll say something splashy. I've never used the word splashy, but But I like the description of whatever I say being splashy. Like you'll say something splashy, but justify it for the most part. And then Zoran wrote, "Nice. Maybe we can discuss. Surprisingly, Eric, you seem to have grown, haha." And I went, "Wow." And then I go, "Allie, imagine it ends up being you defending me and then me arguing with you. Like, I am a misogynist. You don't know shit. You're just a woman." Which I think is funny. Anyway.
That's my favorite one.
It's a good one, right? Anyway, all right. Anybody who knows that I'm a stand-up comic knows that I just like to joke and that I don't mean any of the shit I say like that. Okay. But let's discuss. So I think our agenda here was to discuss previous episodes, and you tell me honestly which you felt most offended by, least offended by, which you took issue with, what particular points you may you highlighted and may want to discuss in further detail, but before I prove you wrong, and yeah. So I'm happy to open the debate. Allie Edwards, everybody.
Hi, everyone. My name's Allie Edwards. I have a major in film and television, a minor in women's gender and sexuality studies. That's not relevant right now. What is relevant?
The minor is
the minor is relevant.
And you have a background in film and TV, and so we're we're the cameras are rolling. So
I was just giving my credentials before I tear you to bits. Okay, so in episode 1.
Which was?
Episode 1 was dating apps and how you're like super opposed to dating apps. And one of your points that you make, you say, "I do believe that a man is built to have the audacity and nerve and courage and confidence to try to procreate, to try to meet women, and to try to approach women in public settings. And so, because more men aren't like that, I don't think women have, many better choices than to join dating apps." So,
wait, that was brilliant. Who said that again?
Eric Newman.
Okay, cool.
All right. So the way you lay this out, it's sort of this very like animalistic primal mindset.
Yeah.
There's like a hunter and there's prey.
Mm-hmm.
So my question, am I prey, Eric?
Are you prey? Well, I guess you have to consider what you feel as a woman representing women in this very particular a small space that we're in at the moment, right? You are the greatest representation for your gender because it can't be me, right? Because I'm a man. Do you feel like women, generally speaking, want to find partners, procreate, all that stuff?
I think generally both men and women want to find partners and procreate.
Right, but I'm speaking from the male perspective, which again, just roughly based on what I know and how I know men to operate. Mm-hmm. Do you feel like women have generally the same goal to find a partner?
As men. Do men and women both have the goal to find a partner?
Or
are
women?
You saying...
I'm telling you that I believe men do generally. Do you believe that women do generally?
I think, yes. Generally, women and people in this society are like encouraged to settle down, find a partner, have children.
And so do you feel like women would generally benefit from men behaving, again, with respect and grace and kindness, the way I'm encouraging them to behave? Which sort of just like going back to what you just quoted me on, like men should approach women publicly and they should ask them out and they should have intentions to try to grow with them and move forward with them in a romantic sense. Don't you feel that that would benefit women, again, done in a respectful, kind, approachable manner?
Well, I think,
generally speaking,
I think what you're asking me is like base level. Is it helpful for the woman's goal to like be desired?
Wait, sorry. You're asking me if I'm asking you?
Yeah.
if it's part of the woman's goal to be desired.
Or like, okay, what you're saying is, okay, does a boy asking me out help me reach my goal of settling down and having children?
Yeah.
Yes, it does. But it also, if a man has the same goal as me, how is it not equal that like I should not ask you out or chase you?
Do you?
I definitely ask out dudes.
Okay, I respect that, but I don't. Do you believe there are a large portion of the women population that won't do that?
I think, okay, as you stated here, right? Like a man is built to have the audacity, nerve, courage, and confidence, right? I think that women should be encouraged to be audacious, to have nerve, courage, and confidence.
I agree.
So I think it's just that mindset that only men are built this way. It doesn't come naturally for women. I think it does come naturally for many, many women, and for women that maybe they are born naturally, like more whatever, proactive or whatever, like that. Anything that's shut down by that is based on like socio-political expectations of them to be demure, to let a guy come to them because like it's more attractive for the man.
Yeah, but I'm not negating by saying that I think men should be more proactive in this pursuit. That doesn't mean I'm negating women from being more proactive. All I can do is speak from my personal experiences and try to encourage men to do more of what I do, which I strongly believe to be the correct approach, generally speaking. But look, I agree with you because I've said this many, many times, and I hope I've said it a lot throughout the last 5 episodes of this podcast, that like women choose. You choose who your sexual partners are. We don't choose.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, like, you are the ultimate deciders for who gets you pregnant, for who you want to procreate with. You are carrying the child, right? You carry the child.
Sure.
Right? So you decide who is genetically desirable enough to ultimately get you pregnant.
Well, that's not always true. And also men decide the same way whether or not they're going to try to get a girl pregnant. And if they don't, they like are in crisis.
No, men's decision making ends after you didn't wear a condom. That's where your decision making ends. At that point, the woman has the baby. It is her decision fully on whether or not she wants to be a mother or not be a mother at that point, regardless of how much you try to convince her or not convince her. You are biologically fit and created to bear children, to carry children. That's not what your only purpose is. I'm sure I'll get a million comments about that. Oh, we're not fit to become lawyers. No, of course you are. That has nothing to do with it. Your biological build for what your uterus is designed, like, can do, what its superpowers are, has nothing to do with your drive, ambition, and career-wise or focus at work or anything like that. But from a biological level, and I do believe, and I know you get offended by this, but on a biological scale, we are either born female or male. Can we agree with that?
No.
You don't think we're born female
We're not.
or male?
There are like intersex folks. We are not born female and male.
On a very large scale, Ellie.
Like, I mean, I still can't really, like, there are multiple sexes.
If I Googled right now,
if you want to say, are the majority of people born male or female?
Majority.
Sure, that's okay. That's fine, but I'm just saying but we should just not only.
I'm not going to do a podcast that's going to try to relate to that, whatever that 3% is, because I can't relate to it. So I'm only going to do a podcast based on my personal experiences, and my personal experiences are generally speaking, biologically, there are men and females at birth.
That's sure.
Okay. Now, do we agree that women are the ones that bear children?
Yes.
Great. We're killing it right now. Okay. Now, based on that information, are women the deciders ultimately, right? Abortion right. Look, obviously, like, state by state has different abortion laws and all that stuff, and I'm very sensitive towards that. But generally speaking, the woman decides generally speaking, whether she gives birth or doesn't give birth.
I think that obviously that's a really like tough conversation right now.
100%.
As like just like to be very clear, like the right of the woman is being taken away in a very real way.
I'm very sensitive toward that, but on a biological level.
Sure, but I also think there's a difference between choosing to keep a child and choosing to be with the man. Like a lot of times people get pregnant by like someone they don't really want to have in their life as like a father figure, and that's not me choosing the man to get me pregnant. It's like I just got pregnant by this dude and I wished it wasn't this dude, but it was.
Right. 100%. But I agree with that. I'm just trying to make a point that, because this is going back to the women choose. I still believe we live in a world where, for the most part, men are hitting on women. Mm-hmm. That means dating apps, in person, whatever. And women go, no, 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 yes. I still believe that is where we are.
Sure. Do you feel, okay, I genuinely think it is so dependent on the individual. Like, I think there are some women that are like super desperate, right? Or because they'll like say yes to anyone because they like want to have a partnership.
But look what you just said.
But then that's
you
not a
said
choice.
They'll say yes to anyone, still implying that they are the ones.
But
who
you
make
also
the
have a
decision of yes or no.
choice.
We all have choices. We're free will. It's a free country, and we are walking around as able-bodied,
right? But a dating
individuals.
app. What we're talking about specifically with this choice is like swiping right or left, like
sure,
yes or no. Two people have to swipe right to make a connection.
100%.
So two people are choosing.
But if you look at the statistics and the data of dating apps, 90% of women swipe. Which one's yes?
Right.
Left? Right is left? 90% of the women statistically swipe yes on 10% of the men. So meaning that 10% of the men are dominating the sexual marketplace. Okay? Those are all women saying you're a catch. This 10%, this subgroup, this small minority of men in the sexual marketplace are women have deemed the catch.
Okay, so then who's the hunter and who's the prey?
It's hard to say, right? So like that was the question.
Because if women have all the power, and I choose
never said
you.
Women have all the power. At that 10% level, I may actually say that men have more power, because they're the small percentage of men that most of the females want. Most of the women want. I'm going to try to not say female. The only time I'll say female, here's a good deal going forward, I only say female when it pertains to biological terms. If we're just talking societal norms or whatever, or people meeting on dating apps or people in society, I'll just say women and men and whatever. And again, I can only talk about what I'm, experienced in, and I have no idea, like that other like 4%, or John, I know you gave a rough number, but whatever small minority percentage that is that covers the, intersex, people and whatever. I don't know. I can't speak on that. I don't know anything about it. I'd have to do research.
I mean, I'm just saying like there are more than two genders. Like that's just like fact.
Yeah. I understand. But I'm just saying like I'm not.
You don't have to be like my audience is now like intersex people just to be like LGBTQIA plus. Like you can't just be like
I have no idea about those dynamics. I will admit that I only have limited knowledge. So like I know what it's like as a straight man dating a woman.
Right.
And those dynamics, because those dynamics are dynamics I've studied and have experienced many, many, many times over the years. I can't speak to the smaller minority, but so your original question was, are men hunters and women prey?
Yeah.
I think prey implies that like we're gonna like kill you and put you and wear your skin.
Well, you're trying to impregnate me.
I don't know. Well, don't you want to? Well,
I don't want to be like hunted.
Be what? What makes you feel uncomfortable, or what makes you feel badly, or what elicits negative emotions about the idea of like being hunted or being prey? Like, what does
Sure.
that mean to you? What's the definition of that?
I think
Let's
for
get
me,
into it.
what I really want to break down is like, you're saying, okay, it's up to the man to go like find women and like essentially like win them over, make them feel hot, loved, whatever.
Yeah.
So like they can like, whatever, fuck or have a relationship, right?
Sure.
Okay. So my point is that both men and women, one, should have the audacity, nerve, courage, whatever, to pursue the other. And number two, like the person on the other end of this, what you're pinpointing that they need in order to say yes to being, what's the word? Sought after or whatever.
Yeah.
They need to feel desired, right? But
Yeah. Everybody needs to feel desired.
Everyone needs to, that's my point, is that like everyone needs to feel desired. It's not just the man's responsibility to desire the woman and for her to say yes. There's no relationship I know, or if I do, it's like completely dysfunctional and like very depressing if the man desires the woman and the woman does not desire the man.
Oh, of course. But hold on. Just because I want to back up.
Men
I don't
want to
think
be pursued too.
Sorry?
I think men want to be pursued too.
So the thing that I was going to say is I said if every woman had that mentality that you're saying, I actually think it would be better. I'll tell you why. Because like I think strongly, and I said this and I didn't really get to where I wanted to because I forgot. My whole point was that if in my belief system, women choose. Therefore, if women are proactive and pursue men instead of the other way around, you're actually saving a step. Because you're saying, so this is what we do, right? A guy asks a girl out. A girl says yes or no. If the girl says no, it's like, okay, I tried, she's not interested. If the girl says yes, it's like, okay, I tried, that's one move made. Woman says yes, that's second move. If you eliminate the first one and woman just comes forward, then we've saved ourselves a step in the romantic process. So I actually agree with you. But what I'm saying is take responsibility for yourself, fellas. Like I'm not going to be waiting around, or I don't encourage men to wait around for women to make moves, because knowing the women that I've known, it's still a small percentage of women that are willing to do that and put themselves out there. I respect the fuck out of it, by the way, but it's still in reality a small percentage of women. Like my almost fiance, the woman I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life with, she DM'd me. Like, I love that proactivity from women. I just don't think it is realistic, or I don't think it should be. I don't think I should be encouraging men to just wait around for women to be proactive and ask them out. I think that would be a huge disservice to everybody if I did that.
Totally fair, but I also would like never encourage women to sit around and wait for a man to ask them out.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think
great. So everyone just ask everyone out.
Hey, ladies, you heard it from Allie. Start asking us out. Pursue us. Be as creepy as we are. Go up to us in public when we're on the treadmill at the gym. Say something to us.
Be like, that ass, Eric Newman.
Talk about my ass. I would love for you to say something about my ass, even if we've never met. I would love. What? I'm going to start wearing yoga pants. I'm going to have my crack show a little bit.
Oh, my God.
What do you mean? Oh, my God.
No,
Allie?
I'm
This
just.
is what you want.
No, because my brain just said our next episode, we're going to shoot at Lululemon and do like a try-on haul with Eric Newman. We're going to put in one of those cute little onesies. It'll be great.
Ladies, you heard it from your female representation in this room today. If you want to hit on me, no matter what I'm doing, you fucking feel free to hit on me.
And you don't just have to hit on Eric, by the way. In fact, I'd encourage you
to not
hit on Eric Newman.
Don't hit on me. I'm a misogynistic pig.
Right. No, okay, so look, the point is like.
Wait, Allie, let's keep. No, I'm going to save this question for later. Okay, go ahead.
The point is that I think there are like these tropes and stereotypes that like men have to be the aggressive one. And actually you have like a bunch of feelings about like aggressive women. Yeah. That came up a lot throughout.
Oh, what were my feelings? I forgot.
Eric doesn't like love aggressive women and does feel like.
What does aggressive mean?
Okay, so in the context that you have where you state aggressive women, you're usually talking about women overpowering men.
Sure. In
some way. So whether that be like an aggressive wife who's like happy wife, happy life, always putting herself before
happy
man.
wife, happy
I know
life
it's
is
his
one of the
least
biggest
favorite thing. It's in my
pieces of
thing.
garbage I've ever fucking heard. Go ahead. Ellie.
I will say, if your partner
Terrible.
is not prioritizing your happiness, like, or your happiness, which therefore feeds into the couple's happiness, I will. Okay, my ex, I feel a little bad calling him out, but like, I was married for like a very short period of time.
You were married?
Yeah, for like
didn't know
less
that.
than a year.
Wow.
And he was very against happy wife, happy life. And like, I was not a happy wife, and it did not lead to happy life.
Wait a second. The implication for happy wife, happy life is at all costs, no matter what, have your wife prioritize your wife over yourself.
Okay.
That is the implication for happy wife, happy life. And what a lot of people don't realize, and men, there's this trope, and I hate this trope. Yes, dear, whatever you say, dear. Oh, just God, just. And by the way, this is misogynistic in my opinion. If you want to really get to the bottom of it, like, oh God, like whatever she wants, so she'll shut the fuck up. Like that to me is disrespectful and misogynistic. Whereas if a conflict arises and I challenge you on it, because I just feel like, oh, I disagree, or that's not going to make you happy in that moment, but actually might be better for our relationship over time to keep it a healthier, more productive relationship, then fuck happy wife, happy life.
Okay, but I think there's a difference between it. I actually see maybe happy wife in a more nuanced way, in which I'm like, I absolutely think my husband should be like I'm responsible for my own happiness 100%. Sure. I need to be in therapy, I need to work out, I need to take care of myself, but like my husband is also responsible for his share of making me happy in
100%.
the domestic life
1000%.
and romance and
Correct.
whatever.
Correct.
I felt disrespected when my husband rejected happy wife, happy life as if it wasn't his responsibility, and he was offended by the implication that I had to like get everything I wanted to be happy. It's not. Like, I think that absolutely happy wife, happy life. Like happy husband, happy life. Like it is our responsibility to each other. It is your responsibility as my husband to make me happy.
100%.
So what?
Because I don't like the way the phrase itself doesn't have any. I don't have any issues with the actual phrase itself. If I saw it on a piece of paper for the first
It's
time,
true. It's definitely true.
It's definitely true. But what I'm shitting on is the societal definition of how happy wife, happy life is used. Not the concept of actually having a happy wife in turn giving you a happy life. Because again, if I'm not with a partner that's happy individually, and we can get into obviously a much more deeper definition of what happiness means, which is a whole other episode, but like just for like surface level happiness, if I'm not with a partner or true happiness, if I'm not with a partner who's happy and then I'm not making more happy by doing my part in being a good, supportive, emotionally understanding, physically thriving, sexually
at
dominating
Lululemon, all those trips to Lululemon
partner, then you're right.
Yeah.
But my issue is just sort of like what it's represented in culture.
I hear that. I think that I'm wary of men who have like this immediate like, fuck no, like fuck happy wife, happy life. Like why is it like they should get everything they want and I can't get anything I want? Like I think you're already looking at it from a incorrect place.
Correct. And if you have,
it's like an honor to make my partner happy.
It is. That's what I'm saying. If you have a happy wife, your life
is better.
Yeah, but this is not what it's been. Am I right by saying that it's synonymous with yes dear, yes dear?
Ugh, yes dear makes me want to vomit.
No, I know, but the whole thing makes me want to vomit. But is it not? Am I incorrect for labeling that phrase?
I don't know. Like maybe that's like but Also, maybe not. Like, maybe it just means like taking her out to dinner every so often, telling her she looks pretty every day. Like,
Yeah.
I just think like maybe smart folks can like start reclaiming shit like that and be like, it is totally okay to want to like make your wife feel good. And like, that's cool.
Hold on. I do not believe that there is anything more important in a relationship, you know, besides like the foundation of like trust and honesty, than
And laughter.
than making your wife and your husband and your boyfriend and your girlfriend feel good.
Yeah.
I think that you are, when you enter into a relationship, that is your responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
I just hate what weak men have done to society and how they behave in relationships. I can't. The thing is, like, there's got to be
what's
a
the
term.
opposite of that? The opposite is like, I'm never gonna like weak men. Like, what is this? Like, people should be weak and strong.
Miserable wife, happy life.
No, but I think people should like look. You should be compromising. Your wife should win sometimes. You should win sometimes.
Yeah. It's a lot about swallowing your pride when you're in love and you're in a partnership, but I don't. To me, saying yes, whatever she says goes, is just giving up in the relationship. That's
It should
giving
never
up.
be whatever. If it's whatever she says goes, like something's not equal there. It's like a symbol of a bigger issue.
Right, 100%. Okay.
Anyway, we're all feminists here.
Where are we now?
We kind of, well, one is just I wanted to point out something funny
Yeah.
that you said. In episode 2, you said, we'll call my 8-year girlfriend, and you just brought it up again, so I have to shout it out. We'll call my 8-year girlfriend my ex-ex, and we will call my more current ex-girlfriend, who I almost got engaged to, my almost fiance. So they'll be my ex, or I'm sorry. For the sake of making it really easy, we will call my 8-year ex-girlfriend my ex, and we'll call my girlfriend that I dated for after her for a year. We almost got engaged to my fiance, just to make things sort of clear and easy that way.
Yeah.
Do you think that was sort of clear and easy?
Well, I think we'll call my ex of 8 years my ex, and my almost fiance my almost fiance.
But you kept being like my ex.
I know, my ex once removed. I did a joke about it. But yeah, no, I think we'll just do ex, and I don't know what's clear. I don't fucking know, Ellie.
Maybe just give them aliases. It's like too much.
Why is it
Joni.
Oh, wait, how about 8-year ex, almost fiance? Is that great?
No, because I'll think, why didn't you get engaged to the 8-year ex?
She was thinking that a lot too.
That's a whole story.
Oh,
God.
all the boys know.
Ooh,
Fill me in.
Should we do that as the next one? I really
Blow
do
up her
respect
spot. Have her
and,
on
like,
as a
I don't wanna-
guest.
I wouldn't. Oh my God, I'm so happy for her. She has a kid. She's
Oh, that's
with a
amazing.
man who's way better than me. And
Sometimes I think you are in therapy, right?
I asked her what her address was when she had the baby to send her a gift, and she goes, "I don't want your gift." He was like, "My husband, I told him all about you, and he doesn't like you." I'm like, "He doesn't like me? I'm technically the reason he's a father right now. He should be thanking me."
What did she say?
I put it on social media. We never actually talked about it.
That's really funny and
Yeah, I
nice
thought it
of you
was
to
funny.
send a gift as long as you're not
thought
like
so.
being.
I thought, you look
creepy.
I don't believe that like things end and you're like now you have no meaning in each other's lives. Like I'm still happy for her. Like she's
That's
she's a
enough about your
wonderful
ex.
person.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
She brought it up.
Question.
You see what these females do?
I will literally boot you out, women. Okay, this I really just want to like rack your brain.
Sure.
Okay, so you say,
Yeah.
look, feminists can tell me all they want about how men and women are equal in this. We are equal. We're different. We're different beings. If you're a man who goes to a bar on a business trip and you're dating a woman back home and you have like a model, a beautiful model, like make it whatever. So if you're in a fulfilling relationship, you have a harder time turning down someone coming up to you on a business trip, a hot woman, than the woman you're dating, even if they both feel like they're in a fulfilling relationship.
Correct.
Why do you think that it's harder for you than it's harder for me?
I don't think I know.
You sound like a sociopath.
I am.
I'm sure you are. I've never known anything more truly.
Okay. Women are better suited for. Okay. You.
Tread lightly.
Women are better suited to turn down men.
I absolutely think that's so wrong. We are put in dangerous situations if we turn down men.
Hold on. I'm not saying that you're more likely to get raped, abused, killed by men than we are to get raped, abused, killed by women.
Okay.
I am saying that you guys have a better developed skill over time to reject men who are trying to sleep with you. Don't argue with me, Allie.
What? In
Don't
what
argue with me.
way? How? Why? Why do you think that?
What do you mean? Because you have to turn down men every single day of your lives. We're not having women come up to us, no matter how much you want to encourage women to do this. We are not. And this is not even on average.
So
this
you're
is just
easy?
Like, what?
So you're easy?
No, I'm hard. No. No, I'm literally hard right now. No, I shouldn't have said that.
I'm sure you are, Eric.
I should not have said that.
I can see it from here.
My point is this.
Mm-hmm.
No matter what you tell me, if you and I walk down this block all day long back and forth, you are absolutely going to get hit on more than I am.
That's just because men are like creepier and more vocal.
Okay, whatever it is. So that's true. Can we agree on
But
that?
I don't reject people when I get hit on. If someone's
Allie,
calling
if
out
you
to
and
me
I
on
go
the
to
street.
if you and I go to a bar right now,
Okay.
okay, and stay there for 10 hours,
I'm going to be so tired.
who is getting hit on more by the opposite sex?
Well, I'm prettier than you.
Well, you're prettier than me. That's true. But who? Forget all that.
I'm kidding.
Who's getting hit on
Okay,
more?
yes. Like the woman.
Okay. And by the way,
But not all women.
By the way,
Hashtag,
hold on.
not
I
all
want-
women.
hold
There
on.
are some uggos out there.
I'll tell you this. Not all women, of course, but I'll tell you this. I get hit on way more than the average guy.
I'm
Way
sure.
More. Hold on.
Well, DMs, you're also
Hold
on
on.
stage. You're
Hold
paraded
on.
out
John
in front
knows,
of people.
John's with me all the time. I get hit on way more than the average guy. But you are absolutely going to get hit on more than me.
I don't. Okay, that's true. But I think you probably get asked out more than the average woman.
But that's like because I have a social media following and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Fine. We're built, given biological facts, like you are the ones who carry
But is the
child.
point? Okay. Here's.
Allie, you can't
Sorry.
let
Go
me
ahead.
make
Go
my
ahead.
point.
Go ahead.
Just 1 second, I promise you.
Go ahead.
Given the biological fact that you are the ones who bear children, you have to be much more selective because the stakes are much higher for you sexually than they are for us. Okay, yeah, STDs, everybody could get them, but you have the whole chance of getting pregnant, and we have none of the chance of getting pregnant.
Okay.
Okay? Therefore, you have to be much more selective. So if 100 guys hit on you throughout the day, you know how to reject them. You know how to walk away. This is but not like
So boys are
a
just
sexual
stupid?
assault or some like extreme situation.
I know.
Outside of that, just the idea of guys approaching you, asking for your number, trying to make out with you, saying flirty comments, you have a much better, you guys know, okay? You're built to go away, get away, bye.
I think
no,
a lot
not
of
interested,
people
not
don't have
interested.
no idea how to do that.
Women don't know how to do that. Almost every single woman
No.
I have ever met in my entire life is at least mildly decent at rejecting men.
Okay, here's let's go back to the main point. The main point you said was if
John, how many times how many times have you been rejected by women?
More than I can count.
Zoran, how many times have you been rejected by women? Ronaldo, how many times have you been rejected by women?
Forever.
Okay,
Forever.
well, I will say
Allie,
this
how many
is,
times have you been rejected by men?
this is a really
Allie,
unfair
how many times have you been
sample
rejected by
size.
men? Allie, how many times have you been
Like
rejected by
twice.
men? Twice. Okay, 2 times. That's
Okay.
disgusting. Okay.
But that is not my fault. It's not my fault.
It doesn't matter.
No, but
I'm
okay,
making a
guys,
point.
I have to get back to the point. No, the point is not the point that you said was a model hot person comes up to you in a bar. It's easier for a girl to reject the model hot dude
Yes.
and stay faithful at home than it is for the
Correct.
man. And I'm saying that I disagree with that. I think the desire can 100% be equal. I think what you were talking about in this moment was like
One second,
desire.
one second.
Do you need my inhaler?
my therapist told me if there's ever something that you hear that's just triggers you or is really stressful or just like so frustrating, just take a moment.
Why is that frustrating?
Inhale, exhale. You do 3 through the left.
Why is it harder for guys to be faithful than it is for
Allie,
girls?
you're making up society right now.
What do you mean by
you
that?
You are creating a world that does not exist in any form of reality.
Your analogy was a super hot girl comes up to a man at a boy in a relationship.
We are going to sit here. You're going to look me in my eyes and tell me that women aren't generally
cheat
better.
all the time.
I'm not saying women don't cheat all the time. That's a whole emotional cheating versus physical cheating argument. We can get into the whole thing. I think we covered it on my cheating episode. You are going to look me in my. You are going to look me in my Jewish nose and my Invisalign teeth and tell me that women aren't better at rejecting men than men are at rejecting women on average.
I don't know, but I don't think that's because they're used to rejection. I think like guys maybe just want to fuck more than women do.
Allie,
Or
we
like,
just read a statistic
point.
that is generally true. That I read a statistic, and I'm coming with that statistic to report that statistic that 90% of women swipe yes to 10% of men on dating apps. That means there's a whole community of 90% of men who will walk into a bar and fuck almost any woman that is willing to fuck them. Okay? Therefore, men are not good at rejecting women. First of all, the other thing you have to remember is that women generally don't really care that much if they're not interested in a guy. They don't care that much on an average basis. I don't know how they
care much about what.
Like, you don't care if I approach you at a bar and you reject me. You're not going, "Oh my God, like I hurt his feelings. I hope he's okay." You're just thinking like, "Get away from me, you creep. I'm not interested." For a variety of reasons. Maybe you're in a relationship. Maybe they're not your type physically, whatever.
Maybe it's Eric Newman.
I don't care if the most atrocious looking woman approaches me and tries to hit on me. There is a sensitivity there as far as me rejecting her. I do not want her to... I also think that men take rejection generally better because men are more experienced at rejection. We can take it better than women can, generally speaking. You've had 2 rejections in your life, like you just said. John's had 10,000, Zoran's had 20,000, and Ronaldo's got rejected 7 times since this episode started.
How many times have you been rejected?
1 million, 10 billion, more than all of them. You know why? Because I always go for it. So I've been rejected. John watches me get rejected every night at the cellar. I get rejected all the time. I've gotten rejected more than any man I've ever met in my entire life. I don't give a
He's like
fuck.
on the prowl.
I don't give a fuck. Like, it hurts.
Great.
It never feels good, but I'm used to it. So, by the way, this is coming from a man that I believe has a ton of options. So I still get rejected constantly because I put myself out there more than the average man does. So women are better equipped to reject men given what's biologically at stake. Therefore, you are more equipped to be faithful and reject. You're good at doing it anyway while you're single. Then you're in a relationship with someone you actually care about and you really love. You're infinitely better. I don't care if Derek Jeter is hitting on you at a bar. I'm not saying you're not going to go back to your friends and be like, "Oh my God, Derek Jeter just hit on me." But 9 times out of 10, if you're really into your partner, it's a no-brainer. It's like, "Oh my God, that gave me an ego boost."
I know a lot of women that cheat. Because their desire, I mean, the point that I was trying to make is that female desire is and can be even stronger than male desire.
Okay, but you know a lot of women that cheat. What I'm saying is that, let's say we use those statistics. Let's go back to those old statistics of 10% of men.
But that's about rejection. I think I'm like curious about what you think about male desire being stronger than female desire. My desire, if I met Andrew Garfield, for example. Yeah. If I met Andrew Garfield in a... What? Spidey.
Yeah,
if I met Andrew Garfield in a bar...
Yeah.
And I had a
Are you going... And you get a boyfriend. Hold on.
I have a boyfriend.
And you have a boyfriend. And you're in love with your boyfriend.
And I'm in love with my boyfriend.
You're going home with Andrew Garfield?
Well, no, because I love my boyfriend. but would you come on? Okay, so like, who's your celebrity crush?
I love Nina Dobrev.
Great. Okay, so Nina's at a bar, or whatever, and your girlfriend is at home, and you've been dating for 2 years, and
I'm
you're
madly
so
in love with my
in
girlfriend.
love with your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You're saying no to Nina.
I'm saying no to Nina.
But it fucking
It's going to be a
hurts.
struggle as fuck. Hold on. It's going to be a fucking struggle.
Same with me.
Not the same.
Why is it not the same?
No way.
Why is it not the same?
Because because 9 guys that have, the only reason I'm saying no to Nina is because I am disciplined enough at this point of my life and have made so much effort to be a good guy and make the right decision and protect what's important to me. And most men are going home with Nina. And most women are not going home with Andrew Garfield. Hold on. Even I said, okay, let's use like out of 10, forget 10%, 90%, let's just use out of 10. Forget dating apps. We're using the world. We're using like dating apps don't exist, okay? For this argument.
Okay.
9 out of 10 women want 1 out of 10 guys, okay? Even if you are a woman, you are those. Okay, so let's say 9 out of 10 women. Okay, all 10 women want 1 man. Okay, if there's a group of 10 men, not 9 out of those 10 women are gonna want ideally that 1 guy. He's the guy who's the best looking, maybe the most popular, maybe the wealthiest, whatever.
That guy is only gonna want 4 of those women.
Sure. But I'm trying to equate it back. Yeah, you're right. But I'm trying to equate it back to what we're talking about.
That guy's only gonna want 2 of those women and would fuck 4 of those women.
He'll fuck 6 or 8 of them. But anyway.
That's so crazy.
Okay.
That is so insane. Where are your standards?
Ronaldo would fuck 9 of them. Listen, look.
Jesus
Hold
Christ.
on a second.
Go.
My point is this. I'm gonna bring it back to your cheating argument with Andrew
Okay.
Garfield. So, for example, if one now the one guy that's desired by the 10 women,
Sure.
eventually he's going to settle down. If he's the only guy on Earth and there's 10 women on Earth, eventually he's picking one of those 10 women to settle down with, procreate with, whatever, right? Meaning the other 9 women are naturally going to go for not their first choice, not their ideal man, okay? Right. Meaning that to some degree,
Sure.
to some degree, those 9 women are settling. To some degree, because their first choice is no longer an option.
So wouldn't that make them more likely to cheat?
Hold on. They would. And I'm still telling you that even though 9 of those 10 women have settled for not their first choice, they are still going to be way less likely to fuck Andrew Garfield. I'm not saying they're not going to text with Andrew Garfield, get his number, maybe emotionally cheat a little bit, maybe meet up, maybe sext with him one night, maybe just have him as a companion or someone they could talk through for the fact that they're dissatisfied in their own relationship, whatever it is. But to actually go home and suck his dick that night and fuck him, I think it's a much smaller percentage than the guy who's going to take Nina Dobrev home that night when she makes it home. Now, here's the other thing that we're forgetting.
I think you're underestimating female desire. And also female, like,
I'm not
unhappiness.
underestimating female desire. I am telling you that I believe that you guys are more disciplined than us and have an easier time on average saying no to random dick, even if it's Andrew Garfield. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know. I think you'd have to
Ellie,
look at
you
statistics.
just told me you're not going home with Andrew Garfield.
Well, I am amazing. I don't know what to tell you.
You're amazing, but
I'm
women...
but I've cheated before.
Okay, fine. Have you fucked somebody else while you were with somebody else?
Maybe.
Okay, fine. Whatever. I don't know the circumstances. We'd have to get into it. But I don't want you to have to disclose more information than you feel comfortable disclosing. I'm just saying that...
when I was very young and immature.
Okay.
Not in my 30s.
Not in your 30s.
I don't think it was about rejection. I think it was about, like,
She
desire
didn't
and
like
not being
the other
happy
guy
in my
that
relationship.
much. She didn't like the guy she was in the relationship
No.
with that much. Did you like the guy you were in the relationship
No,
with that
no,
much?
no,
So
I
how
think-
did I call that so confidently? How did I call that so
But
confidently?
my point is just that, like, look, if you have 2 people that are in love with their partners, can't both... I think the man, and I don't think the man should be, like, praised because he didn't cheat on his girlfriend. Like, it's just as hard for men and women. Okay. I disagree. I think you're underestimating how, like, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Oh, it matters. That's the whole basis for this podcast. It definitely matters. I won't even entertain you being right.
That's a really difficult place to meet. I don't know. I just like don't know how, or I think that's really sad if that's true. It's so fucking hard for you guys not
Allie,
to cheat.
it's not.
If you're already getting your needs met at home.
Hold on a second. We are getting down to the more biological basis for desire here, which is, and I'm hoping you're going to agree with me on this. I'm not sure.
Right, spreading the seed and all that bullshit.
No, men place a higher value on the act, the impulse of just sex, no emotional ties, no connection, the physical act of sex than women do. True or false? Men place, on average, a higher value on the raw physical act of sex and nothing but sex than women do. Yes or no, Allie?
I think yes.
Okay.
For like societal reasons and
Nope.
expectations.
Nope.
Yeah, I think men, especially as kids, you're like, oh, boys will be boys. You give your sons playboys. You take your sons to Hooters. You encourage their sexuality. Women are told that they're like should not like
Allie,
masturbate
Allie,
or
they're not
not introduced to sex with the same openness that men are.
Allie, you act like our fathers are giving us Playboy magazines and going, look at this, son. And we're going, no. If we're straight, we're going, no. I don't want to see these naked women. Okay, Dad, I'll do it for you.
You're genuine.
We love fucking.
Are you genuinely saying, though, that like male sexuality is not more accepted than female sexuality?
Oh, no. It is.
We're like just breaking
No,
through being allowed to say that we're
Allie, I agree with that. Have men run with this notion that they're supposed to be vocal about wanting to fuck all the time and women aren't, and have used that against women? 1,000% I agree with that. And that's where the societal issues come into play. But at a deeper biological level, men are programmed to want to fuck women. I'm not saying that it's not. Look, I'm a guy who's very in tune with my emotions. Again, I've been in therapy for a long time. I ask myself a lot of the hard questions. I try to answer them to the best of my ability, and I try to carry and conduct myself as a good, kind, empathetic person. I fail a lot. But I don't want to have a one-night stand. For example, for me, fucking some woman at a bar, it doesn't do that much for me. I like witty banter. I like being challenged and mentally stimulated. I like all that stuff that leads to sex. Now, if Nina Dobrev comes to me and says she wants to fuck me, my decision's made.
I would be like,
before she
Nina,
opens
what
her
about
mouth.
your husband?
Yeah, and she's like, oh, it's Shaun White,
Yeah.
so I think she's probably okay there. But
I don't know if you're not into gingers.
Hold on. No, but the thing is like, and here's the other thing, and this goes to it, and this sort of comes back to one of the arguments I made on one of the previous episodes, which is that it actually doesn't really matter what your status is. Like, okay, I say Shaun White. I say, oh my God, he's this like Olympic snowboarder. Like obviously on paper, he's like extremely accomplished. I have no idea what the dynamic of the relationship is. And if Shaun White decides
they're
to
equals.
Hold on. If Shaun White decides to have this mantra of happy wife, happy life in the way that I hate it, then that will open her up for not as much respect for him and to possibly come up to me at a bar and try to take me home. More so than
I
a woman.
have no idea where your brain is right now.
Did anybody understand that? Was that not cohesive?
How did we get there?
Because we were talking about Nina Dobrev and Shaun White, and I was saying, my initial introduction into the topic was that it doesn't really matter what your status is on paper or in the world socially. Your status is your status in the dynamic of the specific relationship you're in. That is what your status is in that relationship, not the fact that you won 3 gold medals.
Status in terms of
Status,
like
power
whether or not power
dynamic,
dynamics. Okay.
Respect.
Okay. So,
all that stuff.
But the point where we're talking about is like men are going to cheat before women are going to cheat.
Yep, totally. Physically, for sure. On average.
Okay.
There's a million different cases. Obviously, I can't predict every person's behavior in the world. I'm just saying on on a large scale, men are much more like, okay, because the emotional process, okay, this is what I believe on average. I always say on average because, again,
You're generalizing.
I generalizing. I'm totally generalizing.
Yeah.
I am a generalizer. Okay? Okay, that's my full identity. Okay? I think the emotional process that a woman is usually going through, regardless of what the dynamic is in her relationship with a man, regardless of how strongly she feels about him, how much she loves and respects him, I believe that on average, if Andrew Garfield or Derek Jeter or
Derek Jeter's like
I know he's like 60
55.
now. 55.
Like, what
Okay,
are you- why-
forget Derek Jeter.
I don't want Derek
forget, That's
Jeter.
a bad. It's a dated reference. Let's say Andrew Garfield, or let's say what's his name? Who's the guy who's like was in Top Gun with Tom Cruise and like he's like
Miles Teller?
not Miles Teller. What's his name? Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell.
Glenn Powell, a man that a
Not into
lot of
blondes.
women desire right now. Whether
Sure.
you feel that way or not, a lot
Yeah.
of women desire him, right?
Great.
I'm saying that
Shaun White.
if a woman is in a relationship with a man,
Okay.
and it has some significance in her life, and she lives with him or whatever the seriousness of the relationship is, if Glenn Powell approaches her at a bar and wants to fuck her and makes it very clear that he wants to fuck her, not only do I believe that the woman is going to reject him 8 times out of 10.
Okay.
8 times out of 10. I believe that the stronger or more aggressive his pursuit is, the more she'll actually get turned off by Glenn Powell. Like,
Hear
oh,
me
you're
out.
just trying to fuck me. Oh, you're just trying to fuck me. Oh, you just want to take me
Your
home. Oh, you just
argument
want-
just now, though, was that, okay, there's one man for every 10 women. That means that 90% of women are going to settle.
By the way, I
if
didn't say
Glenn
there's
Powell,
one man for every 10 women. I said that every 10 women are going to desire
sure.
the same one man.
Okay, great. But the
Yeah.
point that you were
Generally.
making, generally,
Yeah.
the point that you were making was that, like, most of the time women settle. This is generally true, right? There's always something. He's either
Correct.
not rich enough, he doesn't have enough hair, he's not whatever, not making
That's
whatever.
not what I'm talking about. You're making it very, these are materialistic.
But you said they're settling in some way. I'm just giving examples of how women settle.
Everybody
But
settles in
look,
some way. Like,
okay.
like if I'm
Oh
if
my
I'm
God.
dating
Eric, I have to finish my thought.
Go.
Okay. So if 90% of women are settling, and Glenn Powell, who's like the apex of male sexuality, is coming up to this woman, and she has a 90% chance of being disappointed in her husband, you don't think she's going to cheat with fucking Glenn Powell?
It depends what your definition of settling is. And unless she was already on the verge of wanting to break up anyway,
I don't think that's true. I
and
think
this
it
is
could
her-
absolutely
and
be
this is her-
subconscious. And
and
also,
this is
like-
her out, and this is her out. I do believe that most women are not going home with Glenn Powell that night.
I think most women would be like, holy fucking shit, I'm going to do this. And like, maybe I'll tell my husband and like, be like, hall pass.
So you think most women who are in satisfied relationships are going home with Glenn Powell that night? Or going home and fucking Glenn Powell that night?
No. But I don't think that
Allie,
most men,
think of 10
I don't
of your
think men,
friends.
I don't think
Think of
men
10
are
of your
either.
friends.
I don't think my friends' husbands would, or
You don't
my,
think men are either?
No.
You don't think men are either? Okay, hold on.
I
Let's
don't-
think of who's the Glenn Powell equivalent?
Sydney
Sydney Sweeney.
literally Sydney Sweeney.
Okay.
Okay,
tell me-
relax.
tell
There's
me
like
right now,
literally
hold on a
like
second.
jerking off
Hold
in
on
the
a
corner.
second. 10 men. 10 men. We're talking 10 men here.
But
Okay?
you said think of the 10 men you know, right? That are in relationships. Those men would not cheat on their girlfriends with Sydney Sweeney.
Allie, are you out of your fucking mind?
No, maybe I just know better people than you do.
Allie, how many men? John, right now, give me a rough estimate.
This
10
group-
men
I
you
don't
know
like the
in
sample
relationships
size.
with women they want to marry. In relationships with women they want to marry. How many are going home with Sydney Sweeney that night?
I'm giving a diplomatic 9.5 out of 10.
That's absolutely
Zoran.
wrong. There's no fucking
Zoran.
way.
I would be. I think it's a little extreme.
That's
I would say
8.
more like 6 out of 10.
Ronaldo, how many men do you know who love their girlfriends and wives are going home? She says you could motorboat me, I'll suck your dick, I'll do fucking everything. I've never done
40%.
anal before. I've never done anal before, and I want to do it with you for the first time. Ronaldo, what percentage of men are going home with Sydney Sweeney?
I have to keep my job. I agree with my boss. Ellie's right.
It's like 4. It's like 4 out of 10.
5 is my like 9.5. I'm on the bad side.
I'm
There's-
calling my brother. Hold on, I'm calling my brother.
His people suck. Let me call my brother.
I'm the only one.
Let me call my
I'm
friends.
asking him 10. I'm not asking him for him. Obviously, he's going home.
I'll text every guy I know. This is an unfair sample size.
David.
He's a cheater.
Hold on. Not anymore.
He's a fucking cheater.
David.
This is not
No,
a fair.
I'm asking out of 10 men. I'm not asking him. David, I'm doing
the
my
least
podcast right now with
academic.
Ali Edwards, who's our studio producer. Okay, Zoran's here. He's
Dude,
filming. I have John.
hurry
Vogel.
up.
Okay, I have an honest question for you. Be as honest as you possibly can.
This
okay?
is not the right man to ask.
Okay.
Let
10
me ask
men.
Bill Cosby
Take
how many
the-
men are going to
take
rape
the
Sydney
average.
Sweeney.
We'll do 100. We'll make the case study bigger. Take 100.
10 and 100
men.
is the same. It's called a
Hold on.
percentage.
No. But he's gonna give me like. You're right, but I just want on a larger
This
scale.
is who I'm debating.
Okay, David, 100 men, the
Oh my
average
God, I'm gonna kill myself.
100 male population. What percentage who are in a committed, loving relationship, they're crazy about their girlfriends, they're crazy about their fiancés, they're crazy about their wives,
In love.
in love, want to marry, want to have children with them, spend the rest of their life with them. What percentage of those 100 men who are standing at
This
a bar
doesn't matter.
that Sydney Sweeney goes up to and says, come back to my hotel room and fuck me in 97 different positions are going out of 100 men?
From my mentality.
No, not
Yeah,
your mentality.
that's. Turn off the phone.
Hold on.
No, it's over. It's over.
No, we're gonna make the distinction right now. Not
It's
your.
over. Why
not,
are we trusting him?
No,
to
no.
talk
We're
for
giving.
all men?
I wanted him to be objective. I like that he said that.
Okay.
Not your
Fine.
mentality. Objective by the
But
men.
why is he your one call here?
100 men.
75%.
75%.
No, this
Se-
is
se-
like
75%.
bringing.
Me and David were right. We got 60, 70.
Yeah, he said 60, 70. I said 80, and John said 90, 97.
You know what? All of
Which
you
makes
are pigs.
John ultimately the biggest scumbag in this room.
We're ganging up on Ali.
Okay, we're ganging up on Ali.
Oh,
All right,
I don't
David,
feel
thank
gang.
you.
You wish.
Thank you. Bye.
No, you guys are pigs, and I think you need to develop your brains. You're disgusting, and I'm telling your wife.
I
I'm
said
telling your
80.
fucking wife.
I said 80.
That's so.
And by
crazy.
the way, I truly believe I'd be that 20%. I do.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm serious. I think I would be that. If
You're-
I was madly in love with a woman and she's going to be the love of my life and she's going to be the mother of my
that
kids.
girl's probably as hot as Sydney Sweeney anyway, right?
Maybe.
You've said you're shallow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Moving on.
God, this is going to be a good clip, right?
Yeah, it's great.
Goes
Okay.
from my mentality.
Done.
Ali, he lost
I win.
credibility.
I
He lost.
definitely
He
win.
lost. He lost credibility. He lost credibility. Okay.
Okay. This is just one thing I wanted to bring up.
Sure. Oh, what episode are we up to now?
We're at 3. We're not going to get through all.
Okay, let's just speed
We'll
it
just
up.
do what we
10
can
minutes.
with 10 more minutes. Okay. And this is maybe ending it on like a more sensitive note. Okay. You, in your like beta alpha episode, you were
Sure.
talking about like how if your dad was like more present, then like you wouldn't have had an obsession with the Spice Girls at 12 years old and like cried when your mom wouldn't buy their CD and
Yeah.
like you wouldn't have collected stickers until you were 13 years old. And like
Maybe.
maybe, but
Yeah.
like you kind of refer to those as like beta or like wimpy qualities. But like, right?
Yeah.
Like listening to like
Spice Girls, yeah.
sure, Spice Girls collected, but like as a female listener, like that those
Endures you to me more than.
yes, I found those qualities most charming.
Yeah. I'm not I still love Celine Dion. I love
That's
Celine Dion. I
really
think
great.
she's phenomenal. I just watched her documentary. I feel really bad about what's going on with the stiff body syndrome thing. Anyway, different episode. But
It's like so random.
no. But I like Taylor Swift. I bought a $1,000 ticket to her concert. Like
Who'd you go with?
I didn't end up going. I ended up selling it because I was
Okay.
going to go alone. But then I was like, why am I going to go?
I literally almost did the same thing. Could
Yeah.
have gone together.
We could have gone. I like that I have those qualities. Dawson's Creek is my favorite show of all time. Like I
Oh,
have a very
that's sad.
deep, sensitive side. It would be a disservice to me and the people around me for me not to be sensitive towards everything. Like I use that sensitivity in romantic relationships, and a lot of those sensitivities come out in ways where I react very strongly to things I see and feel. So like all of these passionate points that I've been making this season so far are all stem from a deep sensitivity towards female and male dynamics. So it's like I do believe that, you know, you pointed out like what you said in the text earlier that like, oh, you start misogynistic and then you reel it back, or I think you're going to be misogynistic, but then you reel it back. I want women who are listening to know that I try my best to be as emotionally sensitive and understanding of how you feel as possible, and that's where a lot of these opinions are coming from. Like, I want the world to be a better place. I don't want there to be cheating, and I don't want there to be misogyny, but I think the only way that we can have those things happen is by being honest. So, like, if you want to sit here with me and argue with me about how, I'm not criticizing you, I'm just saying this is what just happened. We sat here and you argued with me trying to make the point that men on average women on average are going to be as tempted to have like a physical one night stand with a random celebrity.
I think they will be as tempted, even if they don't do it. They'll be as tempted.
No, because the temptation, it just shows me that you guys are more disciplined, and also the temptation doesn't plague you as deeply and as aggressively as it does us on average.
I don't know if I feel that that's true.
Okay. I mean, didn't we just argue it until I proved my point?
When you called your brother? Look, it's neither here nor there. I think this point that I'm trying to make is that, like, I think you refer to like alpha, or like the way that alpha is understood is by being like hyper masculine, but I think then we get into like toxic masculinity and the rejecting of like femininity, which is misandry and like maybe a little internalized homophobia.
Sure.
And I actually think that, like, yes, while like women and men want to be protected by their partners, we also need to feel like we're with someone who's sensitive and caring and understanding. Like, I would say more, unless you're in like the deep South with like Hillary Ray, who just wants like a manly man.
Yeah.
You know, like 9 times out of 10, a woman is going to just want someone. I mean, I feel like most in love with my partner when he like lets me like put moisturizer on his face. But Allie, and like,
you think we're arguing, but if anything, we're supporting the same point.
I am. I'm just saying.
Which is that a woman's emotional connection is so much more tied to her sexuality than a man's emotional connection is, which will make it inherently harder for a man to turn down.
Oh, I'm not talking about cheating anymore.
It's the same thing. It's which makes it which only supports my point that it makes it much harder for a man to turn down a physical one night offer from a beautiful woman. Then I agree with you. I agree with you as a pussy, but I'm just saying, I'm just trying to support my point that it's harder. That's all I was saying. I'm not saying that both people shouldn't uphold the honesty and integrity of a relationship the same way.
Okay. The last point, what I was trying to make, right, was that like you were sort of equating these like feminine qualities that you have as like wimpy beta qualities, and if your dad was around more, then like maybe you'd be more alpha, or like you wouldn't have to have these like feminine. And I'm just saying that like that is like the best parts of you.
I agree with that. Look, I love the way that I connect with women isn't through like being like trying to get into fist fights with other guys in public or trying to show how much of a masculine man I am. I've had some of the best relationships of my entire life, friendships, sexual relationships, romantic relationships, and everything in between, from showing sensitivity, from understanding what women want and what they need and what makes them tick, and listening. Listening is the most important thing. And I think I'm pretty sure I've said this the entire episode as a through line, is that men need to listen to women. Men have a hard time listening and internalizing what a woman says, which again goes back to the older episodes of like, not every time a woman says something that's exactly how she feels and whatever. And then it's your job to sort of read into what's real and what's not a lot of the time, and that goes back to game playing and protection of feelings and whatever, right? It all stems from it's a cyclical. But you're right. Like, I love that I relate to female characters so intensely on TV shows when they're when they're done well and written well and acted well. Like I think that makes me, that's one of the things I'm most prideful about in my life. I have one of the best bonds. I have the best relationship with my mother than of all the people I know. I have one of the best relationships with my mom. Like, my mom and I talk things out, and we discuss, and she disagrees with me, and I disagree with her, and we yell sometimes.
And she's always right.
And she's always right.
Happy mom,
Happy mom, happy prom. I don't know what that means. That means that you have sex with your mom at prom.
Yeah.
Okay.
Woo, fun.
But
Hot.
my relationship with my mom is the most important relationship of my life, and it's what has allowed me to relate to women at the deep level that I believe I do. And so, yeah, I make jokes about that. Like, if my dad was around more, maybe I wouldn't collect princess stickers. But, like, I like that I did that. And I like the Spice Girls. And I still like the Spice Girls. I actually blasted when Two Become One
Last
in the
night
shower,
in bed.
In the shower a couple
With
days ago. And I
Nina
just kept playing
Dobrev.
it on with Nina Dobrev. And I agree with you. And I appreciate that you're saying that. But I just think my whole point is that we just need to be a little more honest about what we actually want and desire. And I think that women have tried to pretend that, well, we just love casual sex as much as men, and you're trying to like beat us at our own game, which isn't even a game.
Oh my God! It's why is
Which
it all about
isn't even-
you? That like, why is it all about like women being like, well, I'm trying to beat men at their own game? Maybe women are just trying to like come into their own for the first time
What
and
does
like
come into your own mean?
actually get to explore their sexuality, make their own choices. Like,
I think that's important.
I think so too, but it's not about competing with men. It's about like actually having the freedom to start doing that shit for yourself. And that's rare, dude. And it like only exists in like 13% of this country, by the way. Like, I'm just saying,
What only
it's
exists
not
in
in-
13%?
a woman's ability to like fully explore herself, her sexuality, her power in the most real way.
Yeah.
And even still, there's like so many bullshit societal expectations and whatever socioeconomic bullshit that holds them down. Anyway, we have to wrap this up. I just think sometimes when you say things, it makes me feel a little bit like men are like these like big tough,
I hate those guys.
But also it's like,
I really hate
can't we
those
get
guys.
past the whole primal bullshit? We're all
No.
smarter than that.
What? No.
It's more nuanced than that. Ew.
It's more
John.
nuanced. It's more nuanced, but that doesn't mean that we're just going to abandon like what we feel, what's primal about us. Like, we're human beings at the end
Sure.
of the day. So like, I just want to have honest conversations about how what I feel make these dynamics last and continue to be successful versus the opposite.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And we'll keep having these conversations coming up this season on Something with Eric Newman.
Yeah,
I'm Eric Newman.
We're gonna take a little break. I just truly want to applaud Allie and say that I enjoyed the conversation a lot, and respect that you disagree about certain points and that you are willing to debate me. I think that's a huge sign of honesty and integrity. So like,
Well, I appreciate it too. I see your points. I just sometimes feel like the male mindset does scare me. Like,
I get it.
I don't like it. I'm just going to be real about it. Like, I understand where you're coming from, and I
It's
don't
definitely
fucking
scary.
like it.
Look, this is a very big shift in my career. I'll just say very, very personally, because I started having success off of crowd work clips and stand up during the pandemic and post pandemic, and most of the fans who came out to see me were females, and I have decided to transition and
To a
to
female.
No,
This is
no,
coming out.
I want all my female fans, and I appreciate you guys so much. But I also am aware that some of my opinions may be things that females don't want to hear or whatever. Like
Women.
you just said, like that women don't want to hear, and like you just said, and you're a prime example of it. Is just like, I don't like the male mindset sometimes, and that's totally fair and fine. But I'm not going to pretend like it doesn't exist. That's
Okay.
all.
But maybe we can work to change
But
it.
maybe we can work to understand each other better. And I think that starts with men. I just want to say that. I think that starts with men because men have a harder time on average listening and internalizing and
Yeah.
being
And women are
empathetic.
smarter.
And women are smart. Okay, women are smarter. We'll cut that out. And I'm just kidding. But I do think it starts with men, and that's why. And this isn't a bash women podcast. This is a.
No.
This is a. I understand you, women, and I want to hear from you and what you think. And I think men need to do a better job of it. Just
Agreed.
like I'm trying my best to do.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you for listening to Something Something with Eric Newman. One more time for our wonderful guest, beautiful guest, Ali Edwards. And shout out.
It never ends.
Shout out to John Vogel, Zoran, Ronaldo. We're going to take a short break, and I'll be back with more episodes. I love you guys. Peace.